I feel like this is said so much, like you hear it all the time on the internet, but people still don't get it. They still don't get it. And I understand not everybody is going to understand everything, and people sometimes just refuse to comprehend things too. But it still doesn't take away from the frustration of it. You just never know what somebody is going through. You cannot base your judgment of someone's life off of what's on social media. I don't understand how people still are basing judgments off of social media. Do y'all not understand that this is something that it's an image? This is where people post highlights of their life, not reality. Not saying that everything's fake, but a lot of times you don't get to see what a person is truly going through. Even on my platform, you don't get to see what's really going on behind the scenes. I try to get on here and I try to tell little bits and pieces of my truth, but at the end of the day, I don't tell every single thing because that is scary, to be honest. That is very scary to be completely vulnerable, to put all of your business out there, and you have to use wisdom too. That's not something that you need to do unless God authorizes it. I do believe in sharing your testimony to help others, but you do have to be careful with what you share because there are monitoring spirits out here, and there's people who are out to use that information against you. So you got to be careful with what you share. But the reason I'm even talking about this is because I went through a depression this year, and I'll tell more of that story when I'm ready. But went through a depression. Even I can go back and show you guys times where I was posting and I was in the thick of my depression. And there were people who were in my life at the time. When they saw me posting, they assumed that I was good. And I just didn't even have the mental capacity to be like, I'm not good. And really get them to understand. The last thing that I cared about in the thick of my depression was making them understand or trying to cater to their feelings. That was just not my concern. There were people that I even told, hey, I am depressed, I'm in a dark place, and they still got offended. They still got upset with my absence, my distance. And to be honest, right now, those people who were offended by that and they're choosing to not talk to me because they're feeling away, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the people who are supposed to be here are here. And they want to stay in a place of offense, then so be it. I can't please everybody. And I can only do what I'm capable of. Some people don't understand depression. There are, of course, degrees in a spectrum. Depression can be really debilitating. Some people can't even get out of bed. I've been there. So to have any expectations of a person who's in a dark place and in a place of depression really shows a lack of emotional intelligence. It shows that you're uneducated, and in some cases it just shows that you're selfish. My depression, I had some people who were really there for me, who really, man, just cared, and they're still here. Even when I went ghost on them, they're still here. Those are my people. Those are my people. And because I went through depression the way that I did, I know how to be there for someone who is going through that same thing. And I do understand that it's different nuances because you can't just ghost somebody when you're in a marriage because you're going through depression. That's something that you likely would have to work out with your partner. So I get that there's different nuances to that, but at the same time, you do have to give people grace during that time because they are not themselves. Like, you have to understand that if somebody's going through depression, what they're really doing is grieving. A person could be grieving a relationship. A person could be grieving someone's life. A person could be grieving the loss of a job. there's so many reasons to grieve, but a person who is grieving is not their normal selves. They're not their normal selves. And depression can come and go. You might have a day where you're the start of your day, because this is my case, and a lot of people who experience depression will wake up in the morning and it's the worst part of their day. Intense anxiety, racing thoughts, like just torment, right? And then in the afternoon, in the evening, it subsides. You feel a little bit of relief. That might be when you post. That might be when you get on social media. That might be when you have a normal conversation with somebody. But then the same thing happens again the very next day. You just never know what someone is going through. And you really got to get out of your feelings, get out of your selfishness, and really give people grace. Something that was helpful for me was people just checking on me. People checking on me, not asking me how I was doing. That was one thing that got on my nerves, quite frankly. I hated when people asked me how I was doing, because I didn't want people to have pity on me, and I didn't want to feel like some sympathy case. So I hated telling people really, really, truly how I was feeling. Like, I might tell you one time, but I don't want to keep telling you. I will tell you when I'm in a better place. So I really appreciate it when people would just reach out and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I hope you're well. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here and I support you. I love you. Because that gave me an option to, if I wanted to, talk to them at that time. But when people were asking me how I was doing every day, I was like, stop asking me. I don't want to sit here and talk about how I feel every day, because that's just making it worse. Unless you're my therapist, then it's different. But 9 times out of 10, when you tell somebody that you feel like crap, what are they going to do? And that was my thought. Like, if I tell you I feel like crap, if I tell you I feel like trash, if I tell you I feel like not living today, what are you going to do besides feel sorry for me? And so that was just my thoughts. And it might not be right, but I'm just saying that was my thoughts. So yeah, I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on depression and really just help people who may not really understand, because I know it's not many people, because I know most people experience some level of depression in their lives. Some people who are fortunate don't get to experience that deep, dark depression. I know there's a lot of people, actually. There's some people I've met that have never been depressed. God bless you. And that's wonderful. That's amazing. But please don't be out of touch. Please don't be insensitive. And please do not be inconsiderate of people who are going through that. That's all I got to say, you guys. Love you.